I wonder if we often think that what Jesus is trying to say to the disciples and to us is that you have to have faith as big as a mustard seed. As in, the disciples have like really minuscule faith. They have really like atomic size faith. And so it needs to get as big as the mustard seed in order to do these things. When you read Luke's gospel, the disciples go to Jesus and they say, "Lord, increase our faith." And then Jesus says, "If you have faith the size of a mustard seed." And so I wonder if we think that what this means is that our faith needs to grow into this size. And if it's as big as that, then we can do these amazing things. But I don't think that's what Jesus is getting at all. I think what Jesus is getting at is our faith, instead of being big and grandiose, our faith is to be small. See, the disciples go to Jesus and say, "Increase our faith." And I wonder if they are thinking, "Lord, if we have a bigger faith, then we can do amazing things. We can do miracles and majesties. We can tell this mountain to go to the sea. We can heal the sick, and we can do all this kind of things if our faith is that big." But I think Jesus is saying, don't worry about having a big, grandiose faith. Your faith needs to be small. See, because when your faith is small, you recognize your need. You recognize your dependence on God. You recognize that miracles and majesties aren't based on your ability, but is based on God's power that can do more than we can ask or imagine. In Luke's gospel, Jesus goes on to talk about servants who simply do what is required of them in the midst of everyday tasks and duties. So instead of having your faith so big that you are called to do amazing things, I think what Jesus is trying to say is, don't worry about that. God's going to take care of all that. Worry about having your faith involved in the everyday aspects of your life. Just doing what you are called to do and having your faith shine there. If your faith is that small, well, then you will witness God do amazing things. Instead of thinking about, how do I live my faith large? As you go through the day, why don't you think about, where are the small places where I can exude my faith? Where are the small places in those small interactions where faith makes a difference? And maybe if we think about it that way, then we will recognize the power of God all around us. God bless you all.